Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now picture the vast landscapes of Iceland, a country renowned for its stunning natural beauty. But did you know it also has fascinating men-to-women ratio? In a world where most places see a balanced gender ratio, Iceland stands out with more women than men. This isn't just a statistical anomaly, it paints a unique picture of the nation's dating and sex life. A higher female population means that the dating dynamics are skewed, creating an interesting social experiment of sorts. It's not uncommon for women to make the first move, breaking away from the traditional dating norms we're used to. What does this mean for the men? Well, it's a different ballgame then. They have to step up their game, be more responsive, and open to the changing dynamics. With more women than men, the dating dynamic in Iceland is certainly unique. Let's delve deeper. In Iceland, dating isn't quite as straightforward as it might be elsewhere. Welcome to a world where the dating scene isn't quite what you'd expect. Here, romantic relationships are more casual, and there's no rigid dating culture. Surprising, isn't it? Imagine this. You're out with friends, enjoying a night in town. You catch someone's eye, you strike up a conversation, and if the sparks fly, you might just end up spending the night together. No formal dates, no elaborate plans, just a spontaneous connection that might just blossom into something more. In Iceland, there's no such thing as too soon when it comes to getting intimate. After all, why put a timeline on chemistry? This doesn't mean that romance is dead, though. Quite the contrary. Romance is alive and well, it just doesn't come with a rule book. Now let's talk about equality. In this northern island, it's not uncommon for women to make the first move. Gender roles in dating are as fluid as the Northern Lights themselves. Both parties are just as likely to initiate a date or a relationship. It's a refreshing change from the traditional norms, wouldn't you agree? Here's an interesting anecdote. A friend of mine, let's call her Anna, once told me about how she met her boyfriend. They were both at a music festival, and she simply walked up to him and asked him to dance. Fast forward a few months, and they're now happily living together. No grand gestures, no elaborate courtships, just two people connecting on a deep personal level. That's not to say that relationships in Iceland are without their challenges. But the openness, the honesty, and the lack of pretense make for a dating scene that is as breathtaking as the country's landscapes. In Iceland, it seems, love is as free as the country's wide open spaces. So if you're tired of the same old dating game, why not take a leaf out of Iceland's book? You might just find that love, like the Northern Lights, can't be confined to a schedule or a script. In Iceland, sex isn't a taboo topic. It's discussed openly and honestly. In this small, fiercely independent island nation, sexual health is a matter of public discourse and education. It's a common understanding that sex is a natural part of life and should be treated as such. This attitude towards sex has led to some impressive statistics. Iceland ranks among the highest in the world for contraceptive use. This isn't surprising, considering their comprehensive sex education programs that start at an early age. In fact, it's so comprehensive that it includes discussions about respect, consent, and the importance of communication within a relationship. And the outcome of this openness, Iceland has one of the lowest rates of sexually transmitted infections globally. It's a testament to their progressive approach to sex education and the open dialogue that surrounds it. This openness also spills over into the dating scene. In Iceland, there's no shame or judgment around casual sex, and it's not uncommon for relationships to start as one-night stands. This doesn't mean that Icelanders take sex lightly. It simply means they are open to different paths to finding a deeper connection. There are countless anecdotes that highlight this distinct approach, like the time an Icelandic woman casually mentioned her sexual escapades at a family dinner, much to the surprise of her foreign guest. Or the way Icelandic parents openly discuss sex and relationships with their children, fostering a healthy understanding from a young age. But it's not just about sex. This openness fosters communication, respect, and mutual understanding in relationships. It allows for discussions that might be difficult or awkward in other cultures, leading to stronger, more fulfilling relationships. In Iceland, sex isn't a hushed whisper or a source of shame. It's a part of life, discussed as openly as any other topic. It's a mindset that encourages respect, understanding, and responsibility. With such an open approach to sex, Iceland is setting a positive example for the world. Their attitude towards sex is not just about freedom, but about fostering a culture of respect and responsibility. It's a lesson the world could definitely learn from. But not everything in Iceland's sex and dating scene is as rosy as it seems. In the midst of the seemingly progressive dating culture, there lies a hidden reality that is often swept under the rug: prostitution. Yes, you heard it right. Prostitution, while not a new concept, presents a unique paradox in Iceland. The law states that it's illegal to buy sex, but not to sell it. A paradox, isn't it? This peculiar legal standing creates a deeply complex issue, one that is fraught with challenges and contradictions. On one hand, the law protects those who sell sex from prosecution, acknowledging their right to autonomy. But on the other hand, it criminalizes those who purchase sex, casting them as the perpetrators of a crime. This dichotomy can lead to a murky and often misunderstood landscape. The question then arises, does this law effectively deter the demand for prostitution? Or does it simply push the industry further underground, making it even more difficult for authorities to monitor and regulate? Furthermore, what does this say about the societal attitudes towards those involved in the sex trade? Those who sell sex often do so out of necessity, driven by circumstances beyond their control. They may be struggling with poverty, addiction, or may have fallen victim to human trafficking. These individuals, often women, are some of the most vulnerable members of society. Yet they are also the ones who bear the brunt of the stigma associated with the sex trade. And what about the buyers? Are they solely to blame for the existence of the sex trade? Or are they too products of a society that commodifies sex and objectifies women? These are the uncomfortable questions that we must grapple with as we delve into the darker side of Iceland's sex and dating scene. It's a complex issue, one that continues to spark heated debates and demands our attention. Prostitution, a darker side of Iceland's sex scene, is a complex issue that continues to provoke debate. As we've seen, Iceland's approach to sex and dating is refreshingly open and egalitarian. The Icelandic model offers a beacon of light for the rest of the world. It's a testament to the idea that open dialogue, equality, and respect can create a healthy and satisfying sex and dating culture. In a world where the discourse on sex and dating is often shrouded in secrecy, shame, or inequality, Iceland's approach stands out. This is a society that has broken down the walls of silence that often surround these topics. It has fostered an environment where people can talk openly about their desires, their experiences, and their expectations. This openness doesn't just lead to better understanding and communication between partners. It also leads to healthier relationships and a healthier society. Equally important is the strong emphasis on equality. In Iceland, it's understood that each person brings equal worth to a relationship, regardless of their gender. This respect for equality extends to all aspects of the relationship, including the sexual aspect. It's a valuable lesson for societies that still struggle with entrenched gender roles and expectations. And let's not forget about respect. In Iceland, there's a deep respect for individual autonomy and the right to make one's own decisions about sex and dating. This respect is a fundamental part of their sexual culture. It's a model that the rest of the world would do well to emulate. Imagine a world where these principles are universally applied. A world where openness, equality, and respect are the cornerstones of every relationship. It's not just about creating better sex lives, it's about creating better, healthier, happier societies. So, as we look to improve our own approaches to sex and dating, let's keep these lessons from Iceland in mind. Let's strive for more open dialogues, for greater equality, and for deeper respect in our relationships. Because when it comes to sex and dating, Iceland has shown us that these are the ingredients for success. Iceland, with its unique approach to sex and dating, offers valuable lessons for us all. So, what does all this mean for the dating and sex scene in Iceland? Let's distill the essence of our journey into a few key points. Iceland's approach to sex and dating is a mirror to its society, open, egalitarian, and bold in addressing challenging topics. The nation's balanced gender ratio lends itself to an environment of respect and equality. The dating is straightforward and devoid of unnecessary games, reflecting the candidness of Icelandic culture. Even the complex issue of prostitution isn't swept under the rug. Instead, it's considered with a pragmatic perspective, acknowledging the reality while striving for better conditions. And what's the takeaway? It's the importance of open dialogues, equality, and respect in the realm of sex and dating. In the end, Iceland's unique approach to sex and dating is a reflection of its broader culture. Open, egalitarian, and unafraid to confront difficult issues. And that's something we can all from. Make sure to hit like and subscribe for more intriguing insights from around the world. Don't forget to like and subscribe.